the information that you give must be factual. Yeah. But should you provide information that is not factual, the CAP 12 that seeks to protect you will not protect you if you do not provide factual information to the members, because you would have misled us, you would have made wrong decisions as parliament, and the people of the Republic of Zambia would have been given wrong information. Punishable. CAP 12 by the law. So you stand guided. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Like you said earlier, without wasting my time here, and also just appreciating the different skills which we house at CCPD, I will let a legal researcher to spearhead this, this discussion. Thank you so much. Lucy, you can take it up.
Thank you so much, Chair. Thank you, Chair, and thank you, honorable members, for your time. So to get into the main issues, which are really to provide an analysis on the following issues: the adequacy of the legal and policy framework, the interagency coordination and stakeholder collaboration, the effectiveness of detecting, reporting financial crimes, operational challenges, as well as recommendations and how we can move forward. So to address the first question, which is the adequacy of the FIC's legal and policy framework, we had to look at a few pieces of legislation, such as the FIC Act, which we are of the view that it establishes it demonstrates adequacy in the sense that it establishes the FIC as a corporate body with clear operational autonomy, but also it has got strength in the way it defines certain definitions, such as beneficial ownership, and also the broad reporting obligations that encompass financial and non-financial entities. The only adequacy that we on certain designated non-financial businesses, and also maybe lack of centralized ownership register, where the progress that is being made under the PACRA entity. And in addition to this, we also looked at the Prohibition and Prevention of Money Laundering Act of 2001, but also its amendment. And we are of the view that this is another progressive provision which provides a framework for Zambia's anti-money laundering framework, but also complements the fixed rule in the reforms significantly the act by providing certain definitions of money laundering, also proceeds of crime, and including conducting activities outside Zambia. So we thought, we are of the view that this is a progressive act as well that we have that makes that complements the fixed operations. And in addition to that, we have got the that establishes a sound statutory architecture aligned with the FATF requirements. In this regard, we are saying that the Anti-Terrorism Act and Non-Proliferation Act of 2018, as it was amended in 2022, represents one of the most modern, technically adequate components of the Zambia's anti-money laundering counter-terrorist financing framework. So all these together really present an adequate framework, and I think we are submitting that the only challenges that we have noted, because a law cannot be perfect in the entire sense, but the challenges or the major challenges that we have noted are fragmentation in that we've got all these pieces of legislation, but are we certain that they are harmonized to ensure that the manner in which FIC is conducting its operations is not being derailed because of having so many pieces of legislation? But also there needs to ensure that the beneficial ownership aspect is also well coordinated among key institutions such as FIC, PACRA, but also ZRA, banks. Those are some of the issues that we noted, because we've got other, again, pieces of legislation such as the Bank of Zambia Act, the financial regulations that are issued by the Bank of Zambia. So all these speak to how institutions are coordinating in order for FIC to operate effectively. And then we also noted that the criminalization exists, but prosecutions, confiscations, deterrence remain limited. Yes, we have noted certain progress that have been upcoming in the recent past, but also we want this to be a whole encompassing, but also as quick as possible. We understand court processes are very long, but if we could have these processes done at a faster pace. And then with regards to interagency coordination and stakeholder collaboration, when we looked at the international standards, they do recommend the need for collaboration, as they do as well acknowledge that having a proper law is not sufficient for institutions such as FIC to operate effectively. So, but what we have noted is that in Zambia we have got enough bodies that are operating together. We've got the police, we've got the DEC, we've got Anti-Corruption Commission, we've got ZRA, Bank of Zambia, just to mention a few. So again, we're saying interagency collaboration is crucial, and having a system that is well integrated to ensure that FIC's role is efficient while it collaborates with other institutions is crucial. And what we have noted is also like I mentioned earlier, is that we've got a number of pieces of legislation governing each and every institution when you look at this. So they've got a system of sharing information, but do the existing system effectively assist FIC to ensure that it carries out its roles effectively is what we need to, again, interrogate. So we noted the challenges to be as feedback gaps. Investigative agencies rarely provide structured feedback on how FIC intelligence is used. And then the other challenge is sequential rather than joint working. This is with regard to intelligence is passed on, but joint tasking and integrated investigations are limited. Then we have also noted a challenge of private sector engagement is compliance driven rather than intelligence driven. So you find that reporting entities focus on defensive reports rather than quality intelligence. And in addressing the issue number 3, which is speaking to effectiveness in detecting, analyzing, and reporting financial crimes, our submission in this regard is that we have noted STR volumes have increased. However, the increase doesn't equal the value. So we have noted the follows limited advanced analytics, but also weak access to beneficial ownership. This is also our submission on beneficial ownership, on the interactions that we've had with institutions like PACRA, where we have contributed our submissions to the currently enacted law. So I like this as well, in as much as we have got the Amendments Act now, but also capacity for complex and also to operational processing. And lastly, is also another crucial point to consider in submitting that God that are being translated into prosecutions and convictions. Also, as a we should see more of such cases like here to ensure that there is public deterrence, but also in addressing the affecting following challenges, constraints. And we also looked at legal and institutional fragmentation. We've got a number of pieces of various institutions to ensure that they are harmonized. And we are also speaking to the issue of limited downstream use as FIC to operational, and also political. It's likely and able to be politically influenced, but also political exposures may highlight sensitive cases. And this is, I think, that's how a democracy sometimes operates, but it's also relevant for the FIC to remain impartial and maintain its autonomy. Conclusion is as follows. To apply effective and proportionate decisions to consolidate beneficial ownership, access to ensure that to not only the volumes but also public reporting. Then lastly, private sector engagement needs and enforcement driven reform.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Interventions? Yes, sir? You can switch off your mic. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chair. I just have got one question, and it's just you to give a comment on it. Mostly, this illicit financial flow in our country, mostly our focus has been that the channel that is used in terms of money laundering is through financial institution. Now, I want you to comment because there are a lot of channels, and one is mining, casino, so buying and sales of precious stones. And the news to real casinos sale of this illicit. Thank you.
Any other? Next to that.
Thank you for your question. I think my response to that would be So with regards to illicit financial flows, I'm sure you do appreciate the fact that there are all sorts of tax, also providing we are not leaving loopholes to be misused, promoting, for example, the price of precious stones. How our crafted respond to these issues as I think that would be one chance. I'm not just looking at Zambia internally or locally. So also illicit financial flows is associated with cross-border. So how our firms with is responding to the that we are to trade agreement issues such that we do not leave so much room. I think those are some of the issues that we need to interrogate to cure the issue of illicit financial flows. That would be my submission for now.
Any other? How willing would you be to contribute to the enhancement of the operations, especially in the regulatory framework?
So much. I think we are seen us coming to contribute here. I think we've been friends with the National Assembly at our expertise. So we are willing, since we have almost all the expertise, we have the trade and investment, we have the public finance management researcher, we have the legal researcher, as well as extractive and natural resources. I think we house all the expertise which we feel can contribute. Like we've submitted, I think we've seen the challenge with the coordination when it comes to the legal framework. I think this is where the problem has been in almost all the legal frameworks we've looked at. How do we ensure that all these different institutions work together? We have not taken some time, or maybe crafting the legal framework so that they're able to speak to each other. If it's committees that which are the provisions are embedded in the legal framework to ensure that committees maybe meet regularly to share different kind of information. I think those are some of the things which we can take from other jurisdictions. I think we have Botswana, we have Mauritius. So as CCPD, we are very much available to contribute, and yeah.
Thank you very much for having you this afternoon. I think we've come to the end of our conversation. And, at this juncture, I'm removing the immunity that was given to you. Yeah. Thank you. We hope to see you again.
Thank you so much, Chair, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You are a regular witness here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are ready.
Good afternoon once again. That's the CTPD, that's the Center for Trade Policy and Development, being led by the legal researcher for PD, and they were looking at the operations of the Financial Intelligence Center as they did make an appearance before the Committee on Cabinet Affairs. And we're standing by for our last witness for today. That's the Zambia Institute for Policy Analysis and Research. So do stand by right here on Parliament Television. The fifth session of the 13th National Assembly, which adjourned Sindie on Monday, 15th December 2025, resumed on Tuesday, 3rd February 2026. Proceedings on DSTV Channel 272, GoTV Channel 28, Topstar Channel 5, Parliament